Saturday morning, and the water in my backyard pool gleams like polished glass. Quiet, untouched, reflecting the clouds overhead in perfect symmetry. This is my sanctuary. The house, modest single-story but solid, is a dream I bought with 15 years of night shifts in nursing school, every shift fueled by grit and coffee. I step onto the deck, coffee in hand, the air thick with jasmine and chlorine. Birds chatter from the sugar maple trees lining the back fence. It's peaceful, almost too peaceful. Reeve Fries Lakes is a mostly white suburban enclave tucked just outside Atlanta. Neatly trimmed hedges 4 miles, and HOA rules long enough to qualify as scripture. We moved here because of the schools, the safety, but we became me 2 years ago after my wife passed. Now it's just me and Amani, my 13-year-old daughter, and I'm doing everything I can to give her stability in a place that sometimes doesn't want to see us here. We're the only black family on this block. People notice, not always with words, but with lingering stares, with slow replies to community emails, with assumptions, like the woman who once asked if I was the new pool cleaner. I'm used to it now, or I thought I was. A faint noise breaks my reverie. Splashing. I narrow my eyes. There's movement just past the hedges, on the other side of the yard. A flicker of color. I walk to the gate and peer through the slats. It's faint, but I could swear I hear children laughing. Strange. My yard backs up to the woods. There's no through traffic. Still, I shrug it off. Maybe someone's playing in a neighbor's pool. Back inside, Amani is still asleep upstairs. I start a load of laundry and lose track of time. By the time I'm folding towels, it's late morning, and that's when I hear it again. Louder this time. A whistle. Then, okay, kids. Backstrokes in a straight line. I freeze. That wasn't from the neighbor's yard. I walk back out to the deck and stop. There are wet footprints on my tiles. Fresh ones. They snake toward the shallow end of the pool. My stomach tightens as I glance over the edge. Ripples still dancing across the surface. A candy wrapper bobs lazily in the skimmer. Someone was in my pool. Today, I blink. Try and make sense of it. There's no broken gate. No signs of forced entry. Nothing stolen. Just used. My pool. Used. Without a word. I glance across the street toward the oversized beige house with patriotic bunting still up from July 4th. Karen Whitmore, head of the HOA. Smile like saccharine, voice like nails. I'd seen her on her morning walk earlier. She waved. Tight-lipped, nothing unusual, except maybe how smug she looked. The candy wrapper floats in lazy circles. Something's not right. I just don't know how wrong it's about to get. By Monday, the pool feels violated. I drain it, skim every leaf, scrub the tile with vinegar and baking soda like I'm trying to erase fingerprints. It's not just about hygiene, it's about boundaries. My space, my peace. But it doesn't last. Wednesday morning, I step outside to water the ferns, and there it is again, damp footprints near the diving board. Faint but fresh. My chest tightens. I haven't swum in days. And Amani's been at her grandmother's all week. That's twice now. I check the gate. Still locked. I install a camera on the fence post. Not connected to the cloud, just an old motion-triggered unit I bought after someone egged our garage last Halloween. It should catch anyone sneaking in. Thursday, I review the footage. At 6:13 a.m., the camera clicks on. My jaw tightens. A group of kids in bright swimsuits file in through the side gate. My side gate. It swings open easily. No broken lock, no forced entry. Just unlocked. Leading them is Karen Whitmore. She's in a red visor, clipboard in hand, sunglasses perched on her nose like she's coaching a junior Olympic team. She doesn't hesitate. She marches straight to the pool like she owns the property. She waved at the camera. She knew. I sit back, stunned. My pulse races. She didn't break in. She didn't sneak. She just used it like it was hers to use. And she didn't even bother to ask. I pull up the HOA guidelines, flipping to the digital binder she insisted we all download. Nothing in there about shared pool access. Nothing about communal use of private property. But I know what this is. It's not ignorance. It's entitlement. She thinks because I'm not part of the Friday wine circle or the monthly HOA bake sale, I'm just not really part of this neighborhood. And something about that thought makes my throat go tight. That night, I knock on her door. Karen opens it with a smile that never quite touches her eyes. "Well, hello, Mr. Bell." She chirps like we're old friends. I get straight to the point. "I have video of you using my pool with a group of kids. I didn't give you permission." She blinks, slow, then chuckles like I'm being ridiculous. "Oh, that? Don't worry. It's for the neighborhood. The community pool's filter's broken again, and the HOA hasn't approved repairs yet." I stare at her. That's not my problem. She tilts her head. "We're all part of Refries Lakes, aren't we?" Then, without waiting for an answer, she closes the door. Just like that. Like I'm the unreasonable one. Like I should feel guilty for saying no. I walk back to my house, heart thudding. She didn't ask because she never thought she needed to. Not from me. And that's when I know this isn't over. This is just the beginning. Friday morning. The sound hits me before I'm even out of bed. Laughter. Splashing. A whistle. I leap up and pull the blinds. My pool is full of children again, at least a dozen of them. Neon swim caps bobbing, arms slicing the water. And there she is, Karen Whitmore, standing at the edge in her ridiculous red visor, barking instructions like she's head coach of Team USA. I storm outside, heart pounding, fists clenched. I don't even grab shoes. "Hey!" My voice booms over the yard. "Get out of my pool." Karen doesn't flinch. She blows her whistle, points toward the deep end. 5-minute drill, go. The kids glance at me, then her, confused, afraid. I walk up, jaw tight. This is trespassing. I've already told you once. Karen finally turns, fake smile glued to her face. "Mr. Bell, please. We're fostering community spirit. There's no need for aggression. Don't gaslight me." I snap. "This isn't community spirit. This is you using my property without consent." She crosses her arms, voice syrupy sweet. "Well, you didn't put up a no trespassing sign. And according to our HOA's Community Engagement Clause, Section 14C, we're encouraged to use available amenities in times of common need." Available means public. This is private property. She sighs dramatically, glancing at the kids like I'm the one making things uncomfortable. "I just thought, given everything, you want to help? I mean, we pay for this neighborhood, too." There it is. We. The word hits like a slap, because what she means is, you don't really belong here. You're not one of us. You're lucky we let you stay. I step back before I say something I'll regret. That night, I call the HOA emergency line, leave messages, send footage, crickets. Then I hear from my neighbor, Curtis, an older black man who's been here longer than I have. He pulls me aside at the mailbox. "Karen told the board she had your permission," he says quietly. Said it was all arranged. Claim it was a shared use agreement. "What?" My voice catches. He nods. "You know how she is. Folks don't want to challenge her. She wraps everything in community good and waves that HOA binder like it's the Bible. So she's lying now. Officially, I post the security footage online. Just a clip of her unlocking my gate, leading the children in. No commentary. Let the truth speak for itself. The post spreads. Fast. Neighbors comment. Some shocked. Some defensive. One writes, "Why can't you just share? You have a nice pool. Be grateful." Grateful. For what? Being violated? Being expected to offer up my property to prove I belong? I start documenting everything. Every early morning splash. Every fresh footprint. Every time Karen's voice carries through trees, like a smug foghorn. Curtis offers to help. So does Melinda, a neighbor who'd stayed quiet until now. I've seen her doing the same thing at other homes, using space, bending rules. But never like this. Never this bold. It's not just a swim class anymore. It's an operation. Karen sets up tables with lemonade. She brings branded towels with Refries Dolphin Swim Club printed on them. She collects envelopes from parents, slips them into her tote. She's charging them, using my property, my water, my liability, without permission, and getting paid for it. I take a breath. I know where this is headed. She thinks I'll back down. She thinks I won't fight. But she's wrong. This isn't just about a pool anymore. This is about power. And it's time someone took it back. Saturday arrives with a heat that clings to the skin, the kind of swelter that begs for water, for shade, for mercy. I sit on the back porch, mug in hand, watching as Karen struts through my gate like a grand marshal. She's wearing that damn red visor again, mirrored sunglasses, and a white reprised Dolphins polo like she's representing the city in the Olympics. She doesn't even look at me. The kids trail behind, parents in tow this time, maybe a dozen of them. One mom sets up a sun umbrella in the corner of my yard. Another unpacks a cooler. Karen blows her whistle. All right, kids, line up by the edge. 5 strokes, breathe, and turn. I rise slowly, deliberate. My phone's already in my pocket, recording. She sees me now. Her lip curls into something between pity and smugness. "Oh, Mr. Bell," she calls out. "Didn't you get the HOA notice? We sent an email last night. Emergency community access extended through next week. I signed off on it myself. You're not the HOA president." She shrugs. "Vice president, acting capacity. Walter's on vacation. And since this directly impacts child safety, it falls under Clause 9F. I'm well within my rights." She's bluffing. There's a Clause 9F, but it's about trash collection in extreme weather. You're trespassing. I say, "You've been trespassing." She laughs lightly and turns the crowd. "You hear that, folks? He's still upset. Let's all be respectful of his feelings." The parents chuckle awkwardly. Someone murmurs something about not being neighborly. I take a breath, slow and deep. "Do you want to tell them, or should I?" Karen tilts her head. "Tell them what exactly?" I step forward, holding up my phone. That the Reprised Dolphin Swim Club is not a sanctioned HOA activity. That you've been charging $40 a head for these sessions. That you've used my pool for private profit without a lease contract or consent. Now the crowd shifts. Eyes dart. Murmurs spread. Karen's smile freezes. "I don't think that's anyone's business," she says sharply. "It is when the business is happening in my yard." I tap the screen. The camera feed lights up. Footage of her taking cash from a parent. Of her unlocking my gate with a key I never gave her. Of her standing in my pool deck with kids lined up like she's running summer camp. I sent this to the City Code Enforcement Office, to the HOA Ethics Board, and just so you know, I also sent a copy to Channel 12. Someone gasps. A mom drops her bottle of sunscreen. Karen's smile finally cracks. "You're trying to ruin my reputation?" she snaps. "You think this'll scare me? I was doing something for the children." I raise my eyebrows. "Then why did you lie to the HOA? Why forge an email?" She pales. That's a serious accusation. I know. That's why I've got a forensic IT report from my server. Your IP address, your fake domain. You impersonated Walter. Dead silence. A little boy in the shallow end slowly sinks beneath the water, sensing tension thick as smoke. Karen stares at me, trembling. "This is slander," she hisses. "No, this is evidence." I step back and look at the parents. Some fuming, some horrified. If you're here because you thought this was an HOA event, you were misled. You've been using someone else's property under false pretenses. You may want to talk to your lawyer. I walk to the gate and unlock it. You all need to leave. Now. And this time they do. All of them. Even her. But something tells me Karen's about come undone. Sunday morning dawns like judgment. Bright. Unforgiving. At 9:12 a.m., 2 black SUVs pull into the cul-de-sac, tires whispering over asphalt. They park directly across from my house. One door opens. Then another. Karen's on her porch in a floral robe and fuzzy slippers, sipping from a reprised Dolphins mug. Her smirk fades when she sees the city crest on the door of the second vehicle. Code enforcement. And behind them, Channel 12's mobile van. I step outside, coffee in hand, calm as still water. She marches across the lawn. What the hell is this, Malik? You tell me. I say. They just asked for access to the yard. One of the agents, Ms. Ramirez, approaches with a clipboard and a small, polite smile. Ma'am, we receive reports of unauthorized commercial activity on private residential property. We're here to inspect the premises, gather statements, and review footage. Karen scoffs. That's ridiculous. It was a community service. You charge for it. I interject. I have transaction receipts. Venmo. Cash deposits. The works. She turns to me, venom rising. You spied on me? No, I say. I protected my home. Ramirez signals to her partner, who lifts a portable hard drive. This was provided to us by Mr. Bell. It includes security footage dating back 3 weeks. Entry without permission. Cash transactions. Unauthorized use of a private pool for structured lessons. Liability violations. Karen tries to laugh it off, but it's brittle. You can't prove it was a business. That's when Curtis steps out from his porch, button-down iron, documents in hand. I think I can. He hands Ramirez a printed flyer, dated, stamped, and watermarked. Refry's Dolphins Summer Club. Private swim training for children ages 5 to 12. Hosted at Refry's private pool. $40 per session. Contact Karen W. to enroll. Karen lunges for it. That's photoshopped. Melinda appears next. No, it's not. My daughter's name is on the sign-up list, and you cashed my check last week. Karen turns a shade of ash. You knew it wasn't yours. I say softly. You used the HOA's name, our shared community, and your position to profit off someone else's property. You're twisting this. I was trying to help. You think you're so righteous. Ramirez raises a hand. Ma'am, we're going to have to ask you to come with us for questioning. There may be municipal fines, insurance fraud investigations, and possible civil suits pending. And defamation, Curtis adds. We heard what you said about Malik at the last HOA meeting. Called him unstable. Said he was hostile toward community traditions. You built your whole scheme on the idea he was too angry to be listened to. Karen steps back. This is a setup. He's turning you all against me. No, I say, stepping closer. You did that all on your own. From the corner of my eye, I see the Channel 12 reporter click on her mic. Her camera guy zooms in. Are you the woman who ran unauthorized swim classes at a private home without consent? She asks. Karen shields her face. You can't air this. We're on public property, ma'am. Her world tilts. The parents who once sipped lemonade in my backyard are now crossing the street. Some filming, others murmuring apologies. The same people who once defended her entitlement now watch her spiral. She's unraveling. Fast. As the agents escort her to the SUV, she screams, This is a witch hunt. You people always gang up when one of us tries to do something positive. There it is. You people, like a nail in her own coffin. The cuffs click. And just like that, Karen's kingdom of chlorine and lies dissolves into the heat that IT starts with a leak. Someone uploads the footage. Karen's arrest. Her meltdown. Her you people tirade captured in crystal clear HD and posted by noon with a headline. HOA president arrested after running illegal swim school in black neighbor's pool. By Monday, it's viral. Tuesday, she's trending. By Thursday, she's removed as HOA president. The fallout is biblical. Karen's Facebook disappears. Her husband's business, once flaunted in block emails, loses 3 major contracts. 2 families pull their kids from her Dolphins program. And the Refry's HOA scrambles to issue a public apology. But it's the letter I received Wednesday that hits hardest. Typed, hand-delivered, signed by 6 members of the board. We failed to listen, fail to act, and enable harm through our silence. We acknowledge the racial bias that shaped this oversight and are committed to change, starting with a reinstatement of your security upgrades and a formal censure of Karen Walters. I read it twice, then again, It's the first time anyone in this neighborhood has used the word bias without flinching. The first time they didn't wait for me to prove I deserve fairness. Curtis stops by that evening, holding a six-pack and a grin. You hear? HOA is waiving your dues for the next year. I snort. That's generous. Think they're afraid I'll sue. Oh, they're terrified you'll sue. We laugh, not because it's funny, but because it's finally over. Sort of, because something did change. I feel it. Neighbors stop me during my morning walks now. They apologize. Some bring pie. Others bring guilt. Didn't know she was using your pool. I should have asked questions. I didn't realize how often we take over spaces that aren't ours. It's awkward, but real. Melinda tears up when she drops off her apology note. We were all complicit. We wanted to believe the lie because it made life easier. But that's over now. I nod. Let's make sure it stays over. And then comes Saturday. Cloudless sky. 76 degrees. A perfect day for the pool. But not just any pool day. The synchronized swim team I invited, the Refries Ripples, returns for a one-time exhibition performance. They're young, talented, and led by a black female coach named Jaya who winks at me like we're co-conspirators. I set up speakers. Curtis runs the grill. The whole block shows up. Kids laugh. Cameras flash. The water glitters. And there, in the center of it all, my pool, once stolen, now reclaimed, becomes a stage. The ripples spin and dive, their bodies moving in perfect unity. Precision, joy, when the music swells. They burst out of the water with a flourish. Applause erupts. I feel in my chest. Peace, justice, community. Karen's old crowd lingers on the edges, watching, not quite brave enough to join, but not willing to look away either. Maybe that's how it starts. With witnessing, with staying, with knowing you can't unsee the truth once it's soaked the front page and echoed off the water. Later that night, I sit alone by the pool, the scent of charcoal still lingering in the air. I think of my grandmother's words, something she used to say when folks tried to box her in. Don't let them make you small in your own house. I look out at the water, smooth, undisturbed. This is my house. And I am not small. Not anymore.